some peace of mind. But TikTok said a gator drove a Jeep through the blinds. Florida man's at it again with fireworks and a goat. And someone married a ghost in a Dollar Tree coat. Hey, what in the Walmart rapture is going on? Aliens dancing in a Waffle House song. Karen's got a taser in the checkout line. And Dr. Oz just adopted birds to fight off crime. Oh, I'm just sitting here scrolling my jaw on the floor. The internet's a circus and I can't take no more. Yeah, when it's wildin', there's a raccoon in the sink. Someone robbed a Wendy's just to steal a frosty drink. A pastor's gone viral yelling about the end is near, while folks ride hoverboards in wedding gear. Hey, what in the Walmart rapture is this mess? Florida's a movie, but it's filmed in VHS. Someone fed meth to a squirrel named Dave, and now he's in a cage just throwing rave. I'm just...
Good morning, everyone. It is the 12th of January and a Monday. So I think we're back to where we kind of remember what day, what time we're on. So that's a good thing. Well, the world is still turning, but we've got a lot of headlines, lots and lots of headlines, lots of news happened this weekend, and I didn't want to cover any of it. Because Saturday I was like, well, the world's on fire. I should definitely do a morning show. And I was like, nah. But we do have some headlines and a lot of crazy news. So, you know, it works out. You're never at a loss for stories. Thank you. I reredded it. So what happens if you have darker hair colors, if you continue to use them, they can start to look muddy. I had a really distinct kind of dark line. So there's a really good product that's gentle on hair. So I pulled all of the dye out and got back to my naturalish color and then put more dye in. So it's back to the more red rather than the dark brown red. So I'm used to it. Mr. Mo's like, your unnatural color is back. And I was like, yes. Although it does smell like sulfur. And he's like, gosh, you know what? I need to make you like your own shed to do your hair stuff. Because it is not the most lovely smelling thing, I will admit. Well, if you've been living under a rock, then you're unaware that Iran is having a bit of a kerfuffle with their government, the Iranian people. Well, I don't know why it motivated someone in LA to try to run down Iran protesters. These protesters are for the Shah of Iran going back and the theocratic dictatorship to be taken out. Now, apparently someone was on the side of dictatorship and decided to run a U-Haul through a gathering. Now, I have seen a couple of different angles of this, and it does seem like the crowd was gathering around the truck and did break a window. So there might be more or less, you know, more to come out of this story. A U-Haul driver allegedly plowed into a massive crowd of protesters at an anti-Iran regime rally in Los Angeles on Sunday, injuring at least 2 people in the chaotic scene that was caught on video. Now, authorities did respond to the scene after the U-Haul truck drove through a sea of an estimated 3,000 people who were at a large demonstration in the Westwood area at around 3:40 p.m. local time. Now, the rental truck, which had the words "No Shah, no regime, no USA don't repeat 1953, no mullah" emblazoned on one side and was swarmed by protesters, and tensions did quickly escalate. I mean, at this point, I think you're kind of showing up to a party to be a douche, which you're totally allowed to do. You can have a counter protest. What you can't do is run into people. Yeah. So again, I'm sure that we're probably going to get a different story from the truck driver that he was afraid. And I'm guessing this is going to be something that's going to go to trial. Now, the truck had both pro-Iran regime and anti-Iranian regime, on both of its side. It's not immediately clear what pro-regime text was on the U-Haul. Now, some of the scrawlings appear to warn against the U.S.'s involvement in Iran's anti-regime demonstrations, in which it has been reported that at least 500 of those protesters in Iran have been killed by the regime's military or internal guards. Now, at least two people were injured and suffered minor injuries. Both declined to be transported to the hospital. And if there's any silver lining in this, it's that no one lost their lives. We have seen the result of driving a big vehicle into a parade, a crowded area. So it is good that no one died, but I do expect to see rising tensions. We are all kind of waiting to see what tips this, powder keg over. So I don't know, but do keep an eye on it. Be aware of your situation, where you are. I wish we lived in a different world where you didn't have to kind of keep your head on a swivel when you're out. But do be aware that we do live, don't live in fear, but we do live in a bit of a fractious time. So we have to be aware of our situations. Now, I don't know enough about the history of Iran to have any really political idea of what to do. I mean, I just want people to be able to govern themselves. Now, in whatever fashion they want. I'm sure that, people from Iran probably have a very different idea of what is good for their culture. Let's let them get into it. Let's not go over there and try to regime change or nothing. Look, it is never the flippin' flapjack, politicians' kids. It's always families like mine who are just working hard. Our kids are sent over to do this bullshit. No. When Congress people's kids are the first to go if they want to do regime change, I'll support it. Until then, my kids are staying here. I know. That being said, if you want to learn more about the Iran situation, I would recommend looking into the history and, developing your own, opinion. When I find a spare minute, that's what I plan to geek out on because I love world history. I love civilizations and I love that. I didn't want to use my mind for anything smart on Saturday. Legitimately, I needed to take a break. Now, the driver has not been identified, but was taken into custody, police did confirm. Now, officers at the scene were spotted pulling the man into custody from the truck as angry protesters reportedly tried to punch and hit him with flagpoles. I mean, it does seem like the protesters he was driving through were giving relatively as good as they got. Again, a person against a truck. Look, yes, I do understand that. I don't know, y'all. I'm trying to make sense of Uvalde, and my brain is no, I just can't. Now, I will say, give this some time, see what develops out of this. Again, if it's going to go to trial, we might not get all the information until it's brought forward in trial. It does remain under investigation, but as of right now, we don't know a whole lot more. Now, in a positive update, to a story that we had last week, it does look like we may have a suspect, and the police have arrested a suspect in the double homicide of the Ohio dentist and his wife. It seems like her ex-husband, Monique Tepe, her ex-husband has been charged with the double homicide. The alleged killer surgeon, who has been charged with the murders, for the love of Cheetos, sorry, of Ohio dentist Spencer Tempe and his wife Monique, was identified after police tracked his vehicle through neighborhood surveillance close to the couple's home. Yeah, I don't know who needs to hear this, but everyone has a Ring camera. You're gonna be seen. How about don't crime? I mean, because I don't know if you know this, but everyone has like their own narc camera on their front doors now. So the more you know. Now, Michael David McKee, 39, a doctor from Chicago, was arrested in the double homicide of his ex-wife Monique, who is 39, and her second husband Spencer in the upscale Columbus, Ohio neighborhood of Wineland Park. Now, in the end, McKee was linked to the crime through his car, which was seen 325 miles from his home and near the murder scene. Oh, I hope you didn't talk. Your defense attorney's like, God dang. Because, again, everyone has a ring camera. So it was 300, almost 400 miles away from his home near the murder scene on December 30th, the night of the killings. What a coinky dink. According to court documents obtained by People. Now, McKee's car arrived just prior to the homicides and left shortly after, detectives noted in court documents, adding that the vehicle was later found near his workplace in Rockford, Illinois. Now, evidence showing McKee owned the car was uncovered by detectives, leading them to suspect Monique's ex, according to court documents. Now, McKee and Tepe were married from 2015 until she filed for divorce in 2017. He was living in Virginia at the time of the divorce, and it was believed that the divorce was amicable when it was finalized. They had no children during their marriage. Now, no motivation has been given by the police for the shooting. And I assume that if this is going to trial, again, we will get court documents, but they're not going to give us a whole lot of more information. Now, McKee was arrested Saturday and charged with 2 counts of murder, hours after a warrant was issued for his arrest. He was booked shortly before noon in Winnebago County Sheriff's Office. He is due to be extradited to Columbus, where there will be a hearing scheduled for today. Now, the Tepes were found slaughtered after one of Spencer's colleagues became worried about him when he didn't show up for work. So they called in a welfare check. And that's really how this story got started. On a heartbreaking and just what the hell is wrong with people note, their 2 young children were also in the home with their murdered parents. They were aged 1 and 4. So I do hope that we get some forward information about this, and I'm glad that they were able to find someone, and it seems like there was a good investigation going, that they were able to canvass the neighborhood, look at the Ring doorbells or whatever they had, and really get to the bottom of who was near the house fairly quickly. So again, I will try to keep up with this case. Uvalde has taken a lot out of me. Now, speaking of another case that we will be covering as soon as Uvalde wraps up. My brain is... Where in the world? Okay, I don't have the story pulled up, but the Paul Caniero case is starting either today or tomorrow, and that will be the next case that we are looking at, following on the Petty Express. New Jersey, he allegedly took the life of his brother's wife, and their children because he had been embezzling from from the company that he and his brother owned together. After allegedly taking the lives of his brother's entire family, he set their mansion on fire. So this has been one that's been winding through the court for a long, long time. So I'm definitely excited to get onto that trial after Uvalde. Just a nice, easy red rum trial. Just a nice, easy red rum trial. No bunches of children. Well, for the first time in history, NASA has ordered a medical evaluation of astronauts aboard the International Space Station. Now, NASA has just revealed that the crew of the International Space Station is being evacuated for the first time in history after one of the astronauts suffered a medical emergency. Now, NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman said in a press conference on Thursday that Crew 11 would not continue in its mission. And it's scheduled until its scheduled return date in February, and that steps for their safe return would be worked on for the next 48 hours. I've come to the decision that it's in the best interest of our astronauts to return Crew 11 ahead of their planned departure. Now, the announcement came less than 1 day after NASA canceled a Thursday spacewalk due to a medical issue. Now, are they going to be able to get them back, or are we going to have to wait for Elon to make another, Peen rocket? Because NASA, you keep saying we're moving people, but you kind of left people stranded for, a good almost damn year. So I hope we have contingency plans. Now, the Crew 11 includes 4 astronauts, NASA's Zena Cardman, Mike Finke, Japanese astronaut Kimiye Yu, and Russian cosmonaut Olgay Platonov. Now, the group recently was joined by Japanese astronaut Koichi Wataka and NASA astronaut Chris Williams, who arrived in November 2025. Now, it is interesting that they are sending them back. They don't go into what the medical issue was, or if it was, such that it was deteriorating. I'm guessing they have basic first aid and medical stuff up there, but the doctors with NASA have said that while they won't define the medical issue, it had nothing to do with the upcoming spacewalk or any other operations that were aboard the station. Now, this has never happened before, but an evacuation plan is built into every mission at the International Space Station, with a crew return vehicle kept on standby. We're looking to the correct opportunity to use our existing landing sites. So there we go. Now, maybe we'll finally figure out what's going on up there when the astronauts are safely returned home. That being said, NASA, I thought you gave these guys health tests and stuff. I mean, I thought that was, it's really hard to be an astronaut. I'm not passing the physical test, okay? I can barely do one real push-up. I can do 10 girl push-ups. I am working on being able to do one real push-up. But look, baby steps. So I hope they get home okay. But no. Now, in a heartwarming story, and y'all, let me just tell you that I spent a good deal of Saturday watching and rewatching figure skating. Now, I can tell you quite honestly, and I don't know how anyone counts the little twirls they do in the air, because a quad sow cow and a triple sow cow, and then the Lutzes and all of the swizzly bits, they all look like exactly the same move to me. I mean, hell, you'd never see me in Lycra doing it or doing any of these, moves in ice skates. But this was a heartwarming story. American figure skater who lost his parents in the DC plane crash was able to qualify for the American team for the Winter Olympics. Maxim Namyov, a 24-year-old figure skater, was named to the United States Winter Olympic team for next month's game in Milan, 1 year after his parents, former figure skater Evgenia Shishkov and Vadim Navkov, were killed in an airplane crash. Now, they were part of that unfortunate collision between a Black Hawk helicopter and American Airlines plane. He finished third at the U.S. Figure Skating Championships over the weekend in St. Louis, in an emotional scene Thursday where he held a photo of his parents and kissed it as he waited to find out his score. I mean, it's such a lovely thing. Like I said, I don't know anything about the technicals of skating, but I can imagine that he gave it his all and, really pushed through, because I don't know that I'd be able to get out of my head wanting to do a really good job for my parents and, thinking about cocking it up. So, like I said, you're never going to see me on ice. We did it, he said, after finding out he made his first Olympic team. Now, the Hartford, Connecticut natives' parents were among the 28 people connected to the figure skating community, flying back from a figure skating championship and developmental camp in Nashville. I was actually pleasantly surprised with the turnout for the Americans, because I was wondering how that crash that this is a very, very, kind of insulated and tiny community of people at this sort of level. And I wondered if America was going to be kind of lacking. Again, I don't keep up with like skating stuff, but I could imagine it's not a big, team of people that do all these things. And then that one guy did like a bunch of quads. You can enjoy it and not understand any of it. Because I don't know what's the difference between a Lutz and a sow cow. I don't know all of this. I just know that I got to watch people do athletical things in Lycra, and I didn't think about anything for a couple hours. So wonderful, wonderful achievement for him. What a great legacy of, carrying his parents' dreams forward. And I hope he goes and has a wonderful time at the Olympics. I can't imagine what it would be like to lose both of my parents unexpectedly and try to continue to do something so incredibly, taxing and athletic and requires so much mental energy. So he is, just amazing in my book. Although anyone who can just skate on ice and not, fall to my nemesis gravity, you're a hero in my book too. So I hope he has a lovely time at the Olympics. I hope that, he skates his best and know that his parents are proud, win or loss. I think, kids sometimes forget that most parents love them no matter what and just want them to be proud of themselves. I always try to tell my kiddos, like, if you like what you're doing, I might not understand it. Speaking of not understanding things, I have a grand gecko. Yes, middle son went to the lizard store or the lizard reptile convention and got a gecko. Now, it has not been named yet, but it survived the evening because I didn't see it last night very long. The boys were setting up the cage or the glass thing and heater, and Mr. Mowat ran into me on the stairs at like 5:30, and I was like, I'm just going to make sure the lizard lived. He's like, what are you talking about? It was okay last night. I was like, this is our house. I'm making sure the cats didn't try to pry open the, case, making sure the lizard, he was still alive. So we're doing good. And we will come up with a name. But I'm glad we went with the lizard instead of the tarantula, because Mr. Mo kept sending me like these bugs, like these giant cockroaches. And I was like, oh, hell no. I was like, why are you encouraging this? No. Well, I don't know. If you need this particular warning, I don't know that I can help you. But American citizens who are still currently in Venezuela are encouraged to leave, as paramilitaries that were pro-Maduro have vowed to, hunt the streets of Venezuela for U.S. citizens. Now, U.S. citizens are being asked to leave Venezuela immediately over reports that armed paramilitaries are setting up roadblocks to hunt down American citizens following the capture of former President Maduro. Now, the State Department quickly set out a security alert from the U.S. Embassy in Caracas on Saturday, warning Americans to take flights to get out of the country and escape ongoing hunts for U.S. citizens or their allies inside of Venezuela. Now, again, if you are a U.S. citizen and you hadn't gotten out of Venezuela before now, what the hell are you waiting for? An engraved RSVP to come back to the land of chicken McNuggets and not famine? I mean, welcome back, Cotter. Well, yeah, Don't stay in Venezuela. I think you shouldn't need the embassy to tell you this. Now, there are real reports of groups of armed militias known as colectivos setting up roadblocks and looking for vehicles for evidence of U.S. citizenship or support for the United States. So, yeah, get GTFO if you're in Venezuela. U.S. citizens in Venezuela should remain vigilant and exercise caution when traveling by road. Now, local reporters and advocates have, documented incidents where rifle-carrying militias have set up checkpoints around Caracas to inspect vehicles entering and leaving the capital. So again, if you are an American living in Venezuela, why? Second of all, run. Yeah, it just keeps happening, and we just cannot allow these people or these women to get away with this. So we've got another for Snake Island. I'm glad we have reached the point in our society where we can agree that these women are gross, disgusting, corrotated PDF files too. And once in a while, I like to call them out and appreciate that they are going, well, to jail and until I get presidency, Snake Island.
It's a curse, we've got a rule for the wicked, the cruel and the worst. If you lie, if you cheat, if your soul's made of bile, you're bound for the fangs and the venom in style. Oh, one-way ticket to Snake Island. Oh, where the contents, less cowards and gaslighters. Go, no anchor, no lifeboat, no tearful goodbyes. Just hissing and coming in cold-blooded skies. Your friend.
I hope not, greedy bloke. Don't geckos grow to be about 5 feet long? That gecko might need to grow because Dingus is a bit of an ass. So, that gecko might need to grow because Dingus is an ass. And now that he's figured out that he's bigger than all the rest of the cats, he's a bit of a jerk. A Texas middle school teacher allegedly assaulted a teenage student in a Walmart parking lot. What is up with these teachers meeting students in parking lots? On Friday, we had Shizzy, and that weird blonde teacher. Parking lots must be ew, just ew. A Texas middle school teacher is accused of abusing a 14-year-old student in a Walmart parking lot while 2 other students sat in a back seat. What in the beyond crotated grossness is going on here? I just cannot. Oh, Mr. Mo, you have never looked so sexy. He got me a whole trifecta of Gummery nerds. Mr. Mo was asking me if I needed anything at Walmart, and y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you. Gummy nerds might be my addiction, and I'm not a people person. So this is like my last bag, and I was like, well, if you're going to be there, you can help me stock up. Now, this is the problem because Mr. Mole rolls his eyes. I have an entire drawer full of snacks that is full. I need no more snack food. I haven't abandoned Haribo. I love it. I was actually looking at Amazon for wine gums, which are British or UK, but I love them. And I'm so sorry, Tammy. I don't mean to go on and on about candy. I know that Uvalde's probably not going to be the trial. I am planning on putting out shorter little videos and musings. I realize I've been a little lax on my members stuff, but on other stuff too. So I will be putting out some funnier, shorter videos. And then this Saturday, you guys, I have been thinking about this for a while. We have completely tangented off. Tangent. But this is more a bit housekeeping. But as I stink with the griftiness, I have decided to kind of take inspiration from our wonderful, friend Jeff in Legal Vices, and I am going to have a once a month grift. You are not required to send money. This is just, a solely thing. So our first one is going to be this Saturday. It's going to be the Mo Pearl Possum Shenanigan Experience. So I have the wig, I have the possum. We are doing this. So that's what I figured. I can do something extra. Next month is probably going to be a Sarah Boonathon. But that way, because I stink out loud, and I thought Jeff had such a good idea of just once a month doing something fun for his viewers and kind of getting, all of that kind of griftiness, which I'm not good at, done in one thing. And yeah, I just thought it was such a smart idea, and I'm not good at drinking. It's listed in in my bio. Sorry, my brain is. I appreciate y'all so much. I did need a little bit of a break Saturday, and I'm so appreciative that Nick is collaborating with me and we don't have to go through it alone. But Friday was hard, y'all. And I felt really bad because I then went on Nick's show and I was just full of piss and vinegar, and I felt bad because I was just like, So that's where I'll be doing my grifting Saturday. I've been working on a thumbnail because, my technical skills are about at that level. But I always feel like it's a real honor to kind of sit, and there's nothing I can do for those families. And God, I wish there was. I wish there were words that could like reversio the situation. And some of the nicest things that anyone's ever done for me is just sit there while I'm having a bad day and not trying to fix it, but just letting me know I'm there. So in a weird way, I feel like us watching this trial, sitting here together, being angry at the state is in some way sitting with these parents, with these families as they're going through the hell of reliving this day. And I'm glad to be able to do it, but it does cost. It does really cost. All right. Well, you guys, she's a monster teacher. I'm not going to go further into this. Now, what in this heifer is wearing heifer? Oh, you've got to be fucking flapjacking kidding me. Never has life more fully imitated art. Okay, no, wait, where is we can do this. I know I can do this. Okay, no. Oh, I don't have the extension on this one. I can't color on her face. Because all you need to do is add little horns in that septum ring. I mean, oh my God. If when I am president, and if you're a female prisoner, I'm putting you in cow print. I'm making them all heifers. I'm making it a federal, presidential edict that if you are a gross female child grossness person, Mr. Mo is going to the post. He went to the post office on Friday, and then he's been out with the kids, so he's going today. So, yes. So I will check and let you know. I did get the conductor outfit. I will be wearing the bow tie today. I figured out how to loosen it. And I might just wear it when I go on with Nick. I mean, I think that this shit show needs a conductor for the Uvalde case. So I think if I wear my conductor hat, maybe we'll have like a more cogent state. I don't know if that'll actually work, but that's what I'm hoping for. And it's an excuse to wear a hat. So, of course. But those are my serious headlines. Now for the stories that make you wonder, tiny baby Jesus, where are you? Hold on to your horses, you guys. We've got a bunch of what in the Walmart rapture is going on here.
The G-Keep Grove, thou glowing shrine of thirst traps, scams, and dollar signs. We chant in tones both grim and low, for virtue fled a long time ago. Kyrie eleison, Christe descendat, final form Jesus return in wrath, with six-pack listening, soar in heaven. cometh swift to cleanse the land.
Well, if you're in Missouri, be aware of a gang of monkeys on the loose. Officials admit they're baffled by the origin of these monkeys. You know, first it was Georgia, and it was the monkeys that Tulane University was like sending all over the place, you know, totally not infected with gonorrhea, herpesiphilitis, and or some mutant Raccoon City virus. You want Raccoon City, this is how we get Raccoon City. You wonder how we got 12 monkeys and, you know, Brad Pitt and Bruce Willis together in a movie. This is how it happened. A gang of monkeys are wandering around the streets of Missouri, and they're being hunted down after officials have admitted, well, they don't really know where they came from. The city's Department of Health has warned residents of St. Louis on January 9th about a troop, if you will, of wandering monkeys in the North City area in a post on X with photos of the, well, smaller primates. Now, original reports suggest that there are 4 animals, but we cannot confirm the actual number of monkeys jumping in Minnesota at the time. Can you imagine this? 911. Yes. How can I help you? I'm looking at a monkey, like 4 of them. Ma'am? No, I mean, real. I'm going to take you a picture. I love that we're like, we don't know where they came from. Someone is just breeding monkeys in Minnesota and St. Louis for no reason. What in the Tiger King is going on here? Now, an animal control officer was dispatched on January 8th to O'Fallon Park, where the monkeys were spotted. Now, the following day, several officers continued to patrol the area after more reported sightings were sent in. We're working to get an idea of where they may be hiding or getting food, the animal control officer said. We're engaging with partner agencies that are properly trained and equipped to safely capture these animals. Yeah, I'm like, how does a random animal control person know how to get monkeys? Because I would think that they wouldn't be, like, you don't often get like a gibbon call. I imagine they deal more with like dogs, cats, maybe raccoons and possums. Now, he added that monkeys are very social and intelligent, but can be unpredictable or aggressive under stress. So don't try to capture the monkeys on your own. This is not Jumanji. This is not going to end well. Do not do this. Now, after they are eventually captured, they will be transported to a facility that caters to more exotic animals. So they're not going to like send them to the ASPCA or, you know, the local pound. Now, there are several subspecies of monkeys running loose in St. Louis, but generally their bodies are green, olive, or silver gray. The Verivet travels in packs of 10 to 15, and they're sometimes viewed as pest animals because they do lean heavily into like going through trash, stealing food off tables, things like that. It does seem like someone should be looking at maybe the colleges and test facilities around here. Now, Marva Young, a resident of St. Louis, expressed her concern to local news. Think of what danger, you know, is around these animals since they're wild. We have dogs, cats, and mice around this area, and now we have to worry about monkeys. I'm scared because now I have to keep my dog inside at certain times because I don't want him to get attacked by monkeys. Make sure your doors are locked because monkeys are on the loose. What timeline are we on? Well, in another animal-related story, I brought you the story of this bear living in this guy's basement and how they've been trying everything to get this bear out. Well, it turns out that there is a tactical bear extraction team that uses paintballs, which seems to be like a good way to get a Darwin Award. But there you go. I mean, because this seems like a really smart idea. You know, shooting a bear with a paintball gun under a crawl space where it's going to take you a little bit of time to crawl out and that bear's facing. it worked and no one died, but I'm just saying this is how Darwin Awards happen. Well, it's very tricky business, but someone's got to do it. If you ever find yourself in an unfortunate position of having an unwanted giant bear squatting underneath your home and wondering who to call, well, the Bear League could be your answer. The league, which just this week chased a 550-pound black bear out from under a Los Angeles home in under 20 minutes, is a 30-year-old organization made up of 220 bear-scaring volunteers and over 2,500 members. Now, the crew boast bear removal stats of up to 8 beasts per day and are headquartered in California's scenic Lake Tahoe, where bear intrusions are really, really common. On Tuesday, the league swarmed in armed with their signature paintball guns to save Altadena homeowner Ken Johnson from his 37-day nightmare of having a giant bear under his home. We do it all the time. Ann Bryant, league founder and executive director, told the Post, "One of us crawls under the house and we shoot at the bears. Sometimes we shoot a paintball behind the bear and sometimes it hits him in the rump." Dramatic footage on the Bear League's Facebook page shows the shooters in action as two paintball gun-toting volunteers venture to, underneath the crawl space of the condo to root out the unwanted bear. Okay, so a woman is in charge. I would have assumed this was an all-male league because I would think women would say shooting a bear with a paintball gun. Sounds stupid. I'm gonna pass on that. Now, they took aim and fired several shots of vegetable oil pellets in rapid succession to spook the bear out. They then continued to blast it in the behind as it made a dash toward the exit. What do you do, Cletus? We shoot the bear in the ass, and then it runs away. And if it don't run fast enough, we shoot it in the ass again. I mean, hey, you'd motivate me to get off the couch. Now, apparently, one of the league spoke after the bear, vamoosed. I still get excited every time I see a bear, a league spokesperson said. David Fleischman, who's helped, battled the Altadena bear nicknamed Unbearable on Tuesday. He's a top 3 of the largest black bears I've ever seen. Now, Fleischman said he's seen hundreds of bears in almost the 3 years that he's been with the league. What in the name of Cheetos? Okay, all you need to do to become a member of this league is to get a paintball pew-pew and a high-vis vest. Okay. Now, the nonprofit was formed 30 years ago after a trapper took the life of a bear named Natalie, who was terrifying Lake Tahoe residents. Tourists. Now, residents who lived in Lake Tahoe year-round were outraged, so they worked together to find a better way to live peacefully with the local bear population. Now, to become a member, you have to have a sincere interest in protecting the bears. Lethal is the last resort. You don't kill bears because of property damage. Now, tactics are different from those used by the California Department of Wildlife, and they rarely work together. We appreciate the opportunity to work in conjunction with them, but that doesn't always happen. Yeah, because the city's probably going to say, we wouldn't recommend shooting paintballs at an angry giant mammal that can, gut you. We would encourage you to not piss off a bear. I mean, I don't know who needs to hear this today, but my general life advice is don't piss off a bear. Don't, paintball with it. Now, the California Wildlife Department had tried to capture the bear under Johnson's home month using cherry caramel spray along with a massive trap filled with sardines and peanut butter. I mean, don't you want your backyard to smell like rotting sardines and peanut butter? Now, they were ultimately able to capture a bear, but it actually attracted another bear into his yard. So they attracted more bears to his yard with this trap, and the one under his crawl space was still there. So maybe these people with paintball guns are right. You just need a don't get the government involved. Well, that looks rather pretty. Okay, this is from England, but what team is purple? Mysterious pink skies amid England's snowfall are linked to soccer stadiums. I mean, it's a pretty light. Residents of England's West Midlands saw the sky illuminated a mysterious pink hue amid a snowstorm, and the cause turned out to be soccer related. Locals in areas including Birmingham, Hendonsford, Small Heath, Bordsley Green, Bordsley, not Beardsley. Okay, Bordsley. Reported the sky glowing pink during Thursday's evening snowfall, and the cause turned out to be LED lights set up to help the grass grow at the soccer stadiums. It seems that the northern lights over Birmingham were a bit closer to home than we all thought. The Hedensford Town Football Club said on social media that pink glow in the sky was in fact our LED pitch lights helping the grass grow and recover, getting us ready to chase 3 points, not the aurora. Who knew a pitch of care could be, of so much interest? They're using grow lights like for the devil's lettuce out. That's a lot of grow lights. I love that the only thing I think of, for inside growing is like for the devil's lettuce. I don't think of any legitimate, like maybe someone likes, tomatoes inside, or maybe someone likes, I'm like, the only reason you get those is for devil's lettuce. Interesting. Now, Graham Madge, a spokesperson for England's Met Office, explained that the lights were the perfect color to end up amplified by the snowstorm. The blue wavelengths of light are more easily scattered by the snow or water droplets allowing the longer lengths, such as red or orange, to get through. It can have the effect of turning colors more pink or orange. So there you go. I mean, hey, it looks kind of cool. I'd be okay with it. And it's not, nuclear, like it's not a Chernobyl thing. So I'd be happy with it. A Wardenburger. I have never heard of this, but apparently an Ohio sheriff is under fire for, something he calls a Wardenburger, as lawmakers are demanding an investigation into jail conditions. An Ohio sheriff who serves English is not my thing today. Inmates in solitary confinement, a notorious quote-unquote warden burger, is under fire from state lawmakers for inhumane conditions. Is there meat in this that looks like oatmeal. I don't even think I don't think there's any meat in that burger. Oh, there's not any. So the burger is made from tomato paste, flour, dry milk, oats, beans, ground turkey, cabbage, carrots, potatoes, onion, celery, and a pinch of salt, served between 2 slices of bread. So it's like a really dry amalgamation of a meatloaf. You know what? I wouldn't do a crime if I had to eat this. As far as the Wardenburger, you'll get it in jail when you get in trouble, Butler County Sheriff Richard Jones told the outlet. It's approved by a dietitian and probably one of the more nutritious meals we serve. Okie dokie. Now, Jones told the outlet that in 2023, the burger isn't made for taste, and it's common to do this, around the U.S. He explained that the real punishment isn't the burger's taste, but being forced to eat the exact same 3 meals, every day while they're in confinement. This is jail, he told local news. You don't get to choose your mommy or daddy, and you don't get your Aunt Lily who doesn't, make your meals. I'm your aunt, I'm your grandma, I'm the one that gets your meals prepared and make sure it gets done. Now, in a January 6th letter from Democratic state representatives, they wrote that there is documented evidence of dangerous and deteriorating conditions in this particular jail. A letter sent in August 2025, a report found that the jail failed to meet the state's important standards for inmate meals. Now, the inspector review said every inmate, even those in isolation, should get the same meal unless there are health and safety concerns that prevent it. Now, on the day of inspection, it was found that all inmates placed in disciplinary isolation were served a warden burger, according to State Jail Inspector Caleb Ackley. I'm kind of with the warden on this one. If you want to show your behind in jail, 2 slices of bread. I mean, he is right. I do think it does offer something. Like I said, yeah. If you decide to show your ass in prison, I really don't care. Now, Jones has defended his warden burger, even taking a bite while speaking with local news. "I would eat this," he said to local news in 2023. "Hell, I'm eating it now." Now, Jones does say that every inmate gets 3 meals a day and medical and dental care, along with access to television. Like I said, if you did something ridiculous in jail, you're already in jail. If you can't learn to act right, I cannot help you. I do not want to help you if you are going to be an asshat. I just don't care. I really, really don't. Well, you guys, now we come to where and what Mo's algorithm found today. Now, for some reason, I do have this. I decided to preload some really cute puppy clips in case we need them today. And for some reason, look, Mr. Mo says no to a puppy. I totally get it. I am a bad puppy mom, but could I rent this puppy for a couple days? Now, this puppy is going to take on a very, very wily nemesis called Lemon, and he's going to kick ass. I love it. He's like, it's yucky. It's yucky. I don't know why I'm licking it again, but what did you do, Mom? I love when the puppies or toddlers look at you like, why for you do this to me? Why for you give me this lemon? This is yucky.
Is it good?
Kick his butt. Mr. Mo says that's what I look like when I'm angry. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that would be me if I ever went off in public. I'd be like, I'm a terrifying, miniature terrier. You get it. Oh, you almost got it. Kick his ass. You can do it. Take it. See, I just need a puppy that stays this size, but because I know they get huge. Oh, he is my youngest, most feral, because he's like, no, I don't want to eat
Today's
that.
episode is
I'm not gonna. I'll just lick it again. Because now, since we were on a bit of an animal kick, I thought we'd take a look at a bear who decides to get its own candy. Didn't decide to go into a basement. And I think this is the smarter bear. This might be the smartest bear in Yosemite or Jellystone National Park.
Paul High is working the graveyard shift. When he comes face to...
Oh no, where is Clerks? Where is the guy from Clerks that I am not paid enough? I should have called in. Because if you ever want to see Mo having a Clerks moment, have me work in a convenience store and have a bear come in. Look, I quit without 2 weeks' notice.
face with a 500-pound black bear.
I was on my way to go change the outside trash, and...
Sir, were you aware that you were going to be interviewed by someone with a camera? You couldn't have brushed your hair at all? Okay.
I was walking towards our automatic door and it opened. And then I seen him try to come in, so I stepped towards him, and then he comes into the store, kind of lunges at me.
Yeah, I love how he's like, because compared to the bear, he is like a 90-pound twink. I love that he's like, be gone with you, be gone. And the bear's like, okay, Felicia.
And though working in this area has given Paul plenty of bear handling experience, this time is different.
I usually have to run him off at least once or twice a night out of the parking lot. Never.
Once or twice a night? Look, sir, on your behalf, I don't care about the fast food workers, but I think you need $18 an hour. I am totally okay with you getting $20 damn an hour. Multiple times a night? Do you have like where is this gas station that like
We're out of the store though.
USA?
I was just trying to get him out. That way he didn't, trash the whole place.
And this bear's behavior is making that much easier said than done.
Throw a Snickers at it and then it changes into a cat. I don't know. I just found this clip. I'm guessing somewhere. Fair point, JKD Buck, but if it was known that bears come into this little area, I'm not getting out from behind the counter. You can't make me. I am not mopping. I am not sweeping. I am staying behind the counter. I will get you your smokes and your lotto tickets, and I will throw a Snickers, but I am not defending the store. No, you can do that.
As soon as the bear lunged at me, my whole train of thought changed, and I was just like, yeah, you can have whatever you want, man. Just take it and go.
Fortunately, there's one item in particular that looks a
Reese's
little
Cups.
tastier than
Reese's
Paul.
Cups.
He actually grabs a bag of Snickers and leaves.
Oh my God, we are in the best timeline ever. The bear knew he needed a Snickers. He was both hangry and self-aware. When you know you need a Snickers and you're a bitch, but so you just go in and you don't hurt anybody. You just take your Snickers and leave.
But the bag of candy bars isn't the bear's only score. On another night,
That was the other graveyard guy. His name.
Again, just leave some Snickers outside. Just leave them outside. I know. I'm waiting for Danny DeVito to pop out of the bear like, I'm fine now.
It's Dave.
Oh, poor
Apparently that night the bear laid down on the floor and ate a whole.
All right, this bear is my spirit animal. He's like, I done knowed where the Snickers are. I'm gonna just stay here. I love this. He's like, I know where the Choco bars there are. I'm gonna just go get some for myself.
Whole box of Three Musketeers.
but even after the sweet feast, Paul's co-worker has a much more difficult time getting the bear out of the store and calls for help. When authorities arrive, the bear...
Notice how that cop is like, is the animal guy here? Does anyone know where the Tiger King is? Could we get him out of jail just for a minute?
finally acquiesces,
Oh, the bear's like,
but
you
not
didn't have to
before
call the
grabbing
popo.
one more snack for the road. The spontaneous visit
Okay, again, I am just saying this bear is my spirit animal. Who among us hasn't wanted to just lay down in the store and eat an entire box of Three Musketeers? But you always feel self-conscious that people will judge you. See, this is a macro aggression. I mean, how do you know he doesn't identify as just a millennial?
stop after the California Department of Fish and Wildlife capture the bear and release him somewhere far away,
You took
making
away
it
his
one less
Snickers?
troublesome, cranky customer for Paul and his co-workers to bear with.
Three Musketeers is like a milk chocolate around a fluffy chocolate nougat. It's not one of my favorites. I am a Milky Way gal, which I think is close to a Yankee bar or a Mars bar. But Three Musketeers are kind of like air. I don't like it. Yep. One day you're just going to see local woman dressed in bear costume lays on convenience store floor eating giant box of Three Musketeers. You know, everyone has to have a bucket list. Well, you know, since we did see how the police officers dealt with the bear, let's look at some police training videos. So in case we want to see, you know, how the police train for bears and non-bear incidents. Oh, he's running away in his windbreaker? Management of aggressive behavior. Moab, mother of all bombs.
Let's watch as the officers do almost everything improperly.
What's the problem, kid?
I lost my dog.
And? Oh! Hey!
I mean, to be fair, you're trying to write your reports, a kid comes up to you in your car.
Shut up in here! You got a bunch of clowns in here with you. Stinking around this guy. Still suck that beer up. Yeah. Having fun, sucking suds.
And now we want to touch on.
What he said was sucking suds, and what in the gloriousness is this hair, this mustache? Oh my God. That might be the most beautiful and slightly homoerotic thing that I've seen today. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that is a stash.
On the ultimate threat,
Police
the face-to-face dealing with another human being. As Bruce Lee said in Enter the Dragon, you must feel locked down on the ligaments and tendons.
Wait a minute. I hope those are shorts. Also, I don't think we're supposed to feel our subjects. I mean, I'm pretty sure these are like, okay, let's see how we bust a tendon.
Ligaments and tendons, remember, feel. And that is a severe blow. Thanks, Eric. Good to see you again.
When approaching...
Wait a minute. What in the stash is this?
And that is a severe blow. Thanks, Eric.
Aw, I love it when couples work together. Although he was a little upset that he had to be the bottom this time. See, he's all pouty. He's like, it's fine, Jerry. When I get home, I'll be the catcher.
Good to see you again.
When approaching a person, it is important not to make them feel cornered.
I'm surprised both women could get all that hair into the same area. What happens when both of their perms, you know, get too close together and the gravity pulls them together?
Being able to take physical cues from a person are critical in an aggressive situation.
When the lips are pushed forward or curled bearing the teeth, it's usually a sign of anger.
I don't know. You know, this isn't looking very angry, but it's also not looking very masculine. Looks more like a hub video of some sort.
A heaving chest, hands are pumping, the finger may be pointing, the fist may be...
How aggressive can you look with the puffy 90s hair? I mean, I know violence happened in the 90s. We had a really high crime rate. I just don't know how aggressive you can look with the fluffy, you know, teased up hair.
Threatening, jerking eyes. This may indicate that a person is communicating with God or Satan.
Wait! Jerking eyes may mean that they're communicating with God and or Satan. Apparently, be sure to ask which deity you are in fact looking for.
This may indicate that a person is communicating with God or Satan.
I'm glad that they decided to take on spiritual warfare as well in their training video. What in the mustache? What in the chips is going on here? I love these mustaches. Okay, when I'm in charge of America as your president, I'm making it legal. Every officer must have a full Manchu. It's just how it has to go down from now on. Mom and Dad? Thanks for letting us use your camcorder, Mom and Dad. Although that one video marked special Mom and Dad night, that was a little creepy and I'll never watch it again. I love that they're like, no, it's my mom and dad. Like, what? Oh my goodness. I have one more because now I have shared with you guys that I don't dance. But I have found this very helpful dance thing. I think I might be able to do the Mike Tyson. And by that, I mean not get convicted in Indiana. If you lived in Indiana, you know. And we almost took out Mike Tyson.
Hi, I'm Jackie Patterson, and I've danced in such Broadway.
Oh my gosh. Okay, now this is terrible, but do you guys remember in Living Color? And they had, I believe it was the two gay gentlemen who reviewed movies and football. Why does he remind me of that skit?
Shows at Sophisticated Ladies, Tap Dance Kid, and a chorus line, just to name a few. But you probably...
Yeah, because if you're into hip-hop dance, I'm sure you're very down with what's going on Broadway.
You know me best from the music video, I Want to Dance with Somebody, where I had the opportunity to perform with Miss Whitney Houston. Now, boxing is Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson is boxing. So if you have a step called the Mike Tyson, you know it's going to look like boxing. The Mike Tyson. Step to the side and bring the opposite leg so that it crosses in back.
That doesn't look like a punch. I mean...
As it crosses in back, you swing your arm across like you're throwing a punch.
We couldn't have anyone with rhythm dancing?
A hook, to be exact. If you just work with this video and use your imagination, it'll be no time before you're teaching your friends how to hip-hop.
Yes, I too will be teaching my friends how to hip hop dance after watching this. Well, that's all I have for this morning, you guys. Do remember that Nick and I will be covering the Uvalde trial. He will be taking this morning on his stream, and then in the afternoon, we will be on my stream to follow this trial again. Here's hoping that the state grew a soul over the weekend. Not that it's likely to happen, because I do think you need to have a bit of a soul to start out with if it's going to grow 4 or 5 times like the Grinch. So let's just hope for a cogent argument today, maybe about how Adrian Gonzalez is responsible for this. Maybe we're moving into that stage. It could happen. And you guys always remember that this is going to be an incredibly rough trial. We are probably have experienced the easy bit, as terrible as that is to say. Nick's channel name is Nicholas Starro, or Nick Starro Trial Watch. So you guys think about that. I do have breakdown videos where I just read my notes if you want to keep, up to date on the case without having to watch all of the, kind of grody-ness. So That's always an option. Or I will see you as soon as we start the Paul Cañero case out of New Jersey next, or once Uvalde is done. Now, it was projected to take 2 or 3 weeks. I'm going to lean more toward the 3 weeks just with how slow the state is being. And let me see if I can send you there. When I set up my stream, it was too early. I get up at 4. So now Nick's stream should be up to send you to it. Because I did look this morning and I was like, where did it go? All right, here we go. Yes, I have made it so you will be sent over there. I'm going to work on some clips and different things and get my snacks ready so we can start the morning good, and then got notes. So we are all ready to go. Thank you for hanging out this morning with Mornings with Mo, and I will see you in about an hour and then hang out with you for the rest of the day. So get some stuff done, get some laundry done. That's what I'm going to do. And then I'll see you back here in less than an hour. Bye, you guys.